All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. This is the final draft for the Stanley Cup Finals this year. I know I did whiff on Calgary initially. I thought the Flames were going to be there in the Western Conference, but I see now why it's going to be the Dallas Stars. I'm still going to be Tampa over Dallas in Game 5, September 30th, as I talked about in my prior videos. All the numbers I talked about in my prior videos are still relevant. It's still everything I talked about. It's still got everything to do with Super Bowl 37, Jerome McGinley being inducted into the Hall of Fame, and Sean King and Black Lives Matter, as well as the George Floyd killing. However, one of the places I whiffed was I was not aware. It wasn't that I wasn't aware. It's that the death of Dale Hawerchuk had not happened yet. So I don't want to hear all this trolling bullshit of, oh, well, you had Calgary in and you missed this and you missed that. I had Calgary initially, yes. But as you'll see, even into that series against Dallas, I was looking at why the Flames were going to lose that series, and we're going to get to that. And either way, I mean, those of you guys who got your money on Tampa, you're still winning that bet. You're still going to win that bet. You're still going to win that money. You don't have anything to worry about. However, for all the trolls out there that I know are going to troll this video and all that kind of stuff, they can kick all kind of rocks and go pound salt. So, like I said, 3 years in a row, called the Stanley Cup Final before this. 2 of those 3 years were before the season began. So I don't even want to hear it. You know what I mean? I don't even want to hear it. Right now, this is August 25th, 8 o'clock at night. I meant to put this video out a few nights earlier. Computer kept crashing, work, all kind of stuff. Didn't get the video out as soon as I wanted to, but we're going to kick this off with the death of Dale Hawerchuk. R.I.P. to him. And if you're new here, what we talk about is the language of gematria. And gematria is ancient occult knowledge, which comes from Kabbalah. In Kabbalah's Book of Formation, it talks about how God created the world with letters, numbers, and words. If you doubt it, you're wrong. Your entire calendar system, your entire language is based off of gematria. And we use 4 base ciphers: the alphabetic order with the rules of numerology, the reverse alphabetic order, and the reverse alphabetic order with the rules of numerology. The rules of numerology just means you break every letter down to a single digit. So, kicking it off here with Dale Hawerchuk, R.I.P. to him. Dale Hawerchuk, born April 4th, 1963, dead August 18th, 2020. Dale Hawerchuk, 57. He was dead at age 57, died 136 days after his birthday on the 231st day of the year. Stanley Cup 136. We talk about this number all the time with the Stanley Cup Finals. Think about the 2017 Finals, and the Penguins closed out the Predators by winning 2-0. They scored the game-winning goal with 1:36 seconds left, then scored the empty net goal with 13.6 seconds left. Anyway, Dale Hawerchuk, 231, dead on the 231st day of his age. George Perry Floyd, 231. We'll get to that. So from April 4th to August 18th, 136 days. So from Hawerchuk's 57th birthday, April 4th, to the date the Stanley Cup Finals begin, September 9th, is a span of 171 days. Just like how Dallas Stars is 171. So is Steve Munchin. We're going to get to him. So on October 18th, this was the date of Event 201, the coronavirus outbreak simulation done by the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, Johns Hopkins University, and the World Health Organization. They simulated a global pandemic that will kill 65 million people over the course of 18 months. Of course, the word pandemic is 65. Event 201 was on Melinda Gates' 65th day of her age. Bill and Melinda Gates were married 65 days after Bill Gates' birthday. On May 5th or March 5th, the 65th day of the year, they reported 65,000 cases in the United States. So I want you to see how on this date, which we didn't know at the time was Event 201, but I was kicking myself with this game because I said we're probably going to see one of these two teams in the finals, the fact that they met on this date. Pittsburgh, this is the 103rd NHL season. 103 is the 27th prime number. Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, in the most pure cipher, the alphabetic order with the rules of numerology, is 103. April 12th, because this is a leap year, April 12th, 412, becomes the 103rd day of the year. Pittsburgh's home of the 412 area code. I live in Pittsburgh. There's a whole bunch of 412 rituals that go on with the Pittsburgh sports teams, the Penguins, the Steelers, and the Pirates. Anyway, the Dallas Stars, notice Dallas Stars is 171. They began the season 1-7-1, 62 for Pittsburgh. We're going to get to why 6-2 matters. I said this day we're going to see one or both of these teams in the Stanley Cup final. Once Pittsburgh played Montreal in the round robin, I knew they were going to lose. It was easy to see. It was all about the number 30. Talked about why Pittsburgh it was a guarantee they would lose 3-1, which they did. The only game they won 3-1. But anyway, Dallas finished starting 1-7-1. That was a big sign right there. Dallas Stars is 27. It's the 27th, the 103rd season of the NHL, the 27th prime number. It's Dallas's 27th season since relocating from Minnesota. They used to be the Minnesota North Stars. So, from Hawerchuk's death to September 30th, Game 5, when I expect the Stanley Cup Finals to end, is 179 days. Here's the thing. Stanley Cup Finals is 62, just like Tropical Storm. And on this date, Pittsburgh became 6-2 while Dallas was 1-7-1. I told people the date the NHL suspended play, March 12th, the date written 12/3. Remember the number 123. We're going to get to that. But I told people to circle June 2nd on the calendar. I said, we're going to get a ritual that's going to foreshadow one or both teams that are going to be in the Stanley Cup Finals. Sure enough, Stanley Cup Finals is 62, Tropical Storm 62. If you remember back, we got the story about Tropical Storm Cristobal. And notice Tropical Storm, when you run the alphabetic orders, 179 like Tampa Bay Lightning. And I said right there, we found the team that's going to be in the Eastern Conference. It's going to come out of the Eastern Conference. Dallas, Texas, also 179. That was one of the things I whiffed. Anyway, like I said before, from September 30th, the date of Game 5, when I suspect Tampa will win 4-1, is a span of 131 days. From September 30th to Super Bowl 55, which is hosted by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Why does that matter? Because 131 and 57 are the championship numbers. Stanley Cup Finals is 57, NBA Finals is 57, World Series is 57. When you write out 57, it's 131, like Super Bowl, like championship. So Hawerchuk's dead 35 days before the start of the Stanley Cup Finals. The Stanley Cup Finals in September 22nd. That's a date with a life lesson number of 35. 35 is also a big Catholic number. This whole coronavirus, George Floyd, Black Lives Matter bullshit. It's all a big Jesuit ritual. The Jesuits are the Masons within the Catholic Church. So Steve Munchin, the skull and bones Jew, he's 57 years old right now. From his December 21st birthday to the date the NHL resumed play, August 1st, is a span of 225 days. The number 225 is everywhere. This is the Stanley Cup final number this year. Remember that number, 225, May 22nd, the date written 225. Get used to it. You're going to hear it a lot. So, the Stanley Cup Finals this year began on September 22nd, the 266th day of the year. Steve Munchin's full name is 266, like 266. Like I talked about, Event 201, the Jesuit Orders 201. Pope Francis, his full name, Jorge Mario Bergoglio's 201. He lives in apartment 201. The founder of the Jesuits, Ignatius of Loyola's 201. Pope Francis is the 266th Pope, the first publicly Jesuit Pope. Now, August 13th, 813, is the 225th day of the year. Why does that matter? Tampa is home of the 813 area code. From August 13th to George Floyd's birthday is a span of 62 days. Just like how from August 13th to Munchin's 57th birthday is also a span of 131 days. So here's George Floyd. You got to ask yourself, is this even a real picture? But George Floyd was supposedly killed on the 225th day of his age. One day after, the Church of Minnesota announced they were paying $22.5 million to families of little boys that it had raped. I wonder where they got that number. Steve Mnuchin on 22/5, May 22nd, announced the Federal Reserve would not be revealing the $20 Harriet Tubman bill. Remember that. We're going to get to that down the road here. And, of course, George Floyd, he was supposedly arrested after trying to pay with a counterfeit $20 bill. And that whole thing happened in Minnesota. The Dallas Stars are the original Minnesota North Stars. So on May 22nd, the Tampa Bay Lightning launched a Stick to Kindness campaign, a digital community effort aimed at fostering love, positivity, and understanding while also serving as a reminder to be kind to yourself and to others when it can be hard sometimes. That tweet got 89 retweets. This year's the 103rd season of the NHL. It began on October 3rd, 10/3, a lot like 103. October 3rd's the day leaving 89 days left in the year. Stick to Kindness 57. So from May 22nd to September 30th is 131 days. It made me laugh this year when I saw that the Tampa Bay Lightning and Dallas Stars last played on January 27th. January 27th, the 27th day of the year, 103rd NHL season, 27th prime, Dallas Stars 27th season since relocating from Minnesota. Notice in this game, the Tampa Bay Lightning lost in overtime to get their 63rd points. The Stars won the game to get their 60th points of the season. 60 plus 63 is 123. Remember that. The two games Dallas and Tampa played this year, Dallas won both, and Tampa was outscored 5-7. Think about it. So anyway, this reminds me of Pearl Harbor Day, right? 1/2/7, like December 7th, 1941, the date of Pearl Harbor. Think of 9/11 when they said it was the biggest act of terrorism in the United States since Pearl Harbor. What buildings fell? Was it 1, 2, and 7? I believe it was. So anyway, from the date of this game, January 27th, to the date of George Floyd's death was a total span of 120 days or a span of 119 days. From January 27th to May 25th, 119 days and 120 days. The difference between 119 and 120 is on this one you include the end date. For those of you that have trouble understanding that, think about it this way. Today's August 25th, right? August 25th, 8:19 p.m. From August 25th, 2020 to August 25th, 2020 is how many days? 0. But August 25th, 2020 is still one day, correct? From 12 a.m. to 11:59 p.m. So from August 25th to August 25th is 0 days, but it's a total span of 1 day if you include the end date. So if you had trouble understanding that, hopefully I cleared that up for you. And notice from May 25th to September 22nd is a span of 120 days as well, like Dale Hawerchuk, who was ritualistically murdered for this year's Stanley Cup final. So one thing I didn't understand, this is going to play as we move on here as well. I did not realize Dallas Mavericks is 51, and that ties into once we get into the baseball, which I'm going to decode. But getting back to the number 225, notice on 127, January 27th, The Dallas Mavericks won this game with 204 points over the Oklahoma City Thunder, a combined 204 points. I was not made aware of this because I do not follow the NBA. Zach does great work. He covers the NBA. I do not cover the NBA. I hate the NBA. I don't like basketball. Watching basketball is equivalent to watching paint dry as far as I'm concerned. It's a bunch of grown men in pantyhose grabbing balls. But anyway, notice they played the Oklahoma City Thunder, right? From May 22nd to Hawerchuk's death was a span of 88 days. May 22nd is the day leaving 223 days left in the year. Like how when you run the out in the most pure cipher, Oklahoma City Thunder is 88. Oklahoma City Thunder is 223 when you run the alphabetic order. That's why you got to know all four base ciphers. So, from the date of this game, January 27th, to Hawerchuk's death, was a span of 204 days, like how this game summed to 204 points. So one of the things I screwed up was I saw from May 22nd, 2020 to the date the Stanley Cup Finals began, September 22nd, was 123 days. And when you run the alphabetic order, Calgary Flames is 123. And I thought that was another sign we were going to see Calgary there. However, if I was made aware that on January 27th, the 27th day of the year, that the Lightning and Stars played in a game where it ended in overtime where they combined for 123 points, I would have been seeing Stars and Lightning all the way. This was one I'm disappointed in myself for this, but hey, hindsight's 2020, and I know my fam's going to watch this. And I told him, I said, if I'm wrong initially, I'm going to be the first one to admit I was wrong, but I wouldn't have been wrong had I known about this game. So, moving on to Super Bowl, and I'm not even wrong about the Stanley Cup Finals, really. I mean, I called the team. I had the Lightning there. I had the Lightning winning it. That's still going to happen. I still called who's going to be there before really the first round of the playoffs even ended. If it wasn't for how busy I was, I would have had this video out before Dallas eliminated Calgary in 6 games. So, again, all the haters can pound all kind of salt. So, moving to Super Bowl 37, this was won by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers on January 26, 2003. Remember the date, January 26th? We're going to get to that. All these numbers are relevant. The Buccaneers won this game with 48 points. The Raiders lost with 21. And the game summed to 69 points. That's the big one. Remember the number 69. However, when the Buccaneers won this game, it was in their 27th season. Again, like how this is the 103rd season of the NHL, the 27th prime number. Like how Dallas Stars is 27. It's their 27th season since relocating from Minnesota. Tampa won their only Super Bowl in their 27th season. Tampa's hosting the upcoming Super Bowl on 2/7. I'm going to keep saying it because you need to know it. It's very important. So, this season is the Lightning's 28th season, but it's only their 27th season of play because of the 2004-2005 NHL lockout. So notice how Dallas, Texas is 28, Dallas Stars is 27. How perfect. The NHL this year resumed on 8/1. Super Bowl XXXVII is 81, the Roman numerals for Super Bowl 37. Dallas Stars also 81. Again, that's why you got to know all 4 base ciphers. So on 8/1, it made me laugh to see the Texas Rangers, who play in Arlington, but they're still in the Dallas metropolitan area. They lost 3-7. Stanley Cup is 37. We're talking about Super Bowl 37. Notice how they lost with 20. They became 2-5 in the year. Tampa Bay 25. Remember how the Oklahoma City Thunder lost with 97 points. Death 97 the 25th prime. So the date of this game, January 26, 1/26. Dallas Stars 126. So is Calgary, Alberta. That was another mistake I made. Looked at the wrong thing. 126 was also the death of Kobe Bryant. John Cooper, the coach of the Tampa Bay Lightning, has the same birthday as Kobe Bryant. Shout out to my one follower who pointed that out in the last video. So from George Floyd's death to the date the NHL resumed play was a span of 69 days. Like how Dale Hawerchuk is 69, so is George Perry Floyd. Remember these 69s. So from January 27th to February 22nd was a span of 27 days. From October 14th to February 22nd was a span of 131 days. October 14th was George Floyd's birthday. Why does February 22nd matter? Because on this date, the Tampa Bay Lightning lost 3-7 to the Arizona Coyotes on 2-2-2. Wuhan coronavirus is 2-2-2. You know, Donald Trump was bragging at the World Economic Forum on the 222nd day of his age, February 22nd, about world trade. From September 11th, 2001 to the date coronavirus was announced a global pandemic, March 11th, was a span of 222 months, plus a whole lot more, but this is a huge number. But I want you to see that they lost 3-7 to the Arizona Coyotes. We know we're talking about Super Bowl 37. Stanley Cup is 37. But here's what's really mind-blowing and what makes this undeniable that Dale Hawerchuk was murdered as a ritual for the Stanley Cup. Arizona Coyotes sums to 69. Dale Hawerchuk was drafted by and played the majority of his career with the original Winnipeg Jets, who then went on to become the Arizona Coyotes. So how perfect. So here's the other thing I talked about before. Like you say, the Lightning have completed 27 seasons. They're in their 28th season. So I said before the playoffs began, the round-robin games counted toward the playoffs. I said look for the Lightning to go 2-1 in the round-robin, which they did. I talked about why they would lose to Philadelphia, which is exactly what happened. They beat Boston and Washington first. So they got their 75th win. And I said if they go into the playoffs with 75 wins, they're going to win 16 games and then win the Stanley Cup, getting their 91st all-time playoff win. And notice Stanley Cup Finals is 91. So is Tampa Bay Lightning. I forgot to put that up here, but so is Tampa Bay Lightning. Tampa Bay Lightning 91, Stanley Cup Finals 91. The Lightning won 2 in the round robin. They'll win 16 in the Stanley Cup playoffs to give them 91 all-time playoff wins. Steven Stamkos, the star for the Tampa Bay Lightning, he's sitting out with a fake injury right now, but he wears the number 91 and has the 2/7 birthday. Keep in mind that 91 is the 13th triangular number, and Dallas is 13. If you don't know what triangular numbers are, it means when you add 1 through 13 together, it sums to 91. So the Stars can fall to 1-4 in the Stanley Cup Finals. Stars is 14. So here's where I knew I messed up on Calgary to begin. Notice how the Flames lost the series 4-2 to stay on 103 wins all time in the playoffs, not excluding their time as the Atlanta Flames. And look at how they lost 4 to get their 118th all-time playoff series loss. Like how Dallas, Texas is 113 or 118. The series began on August 11th, a date written 11/8. Dallas, right now, they're in their 63rd series, but they were in their 62nd series. They were in their 31st series all-time as the Dallas Stars, not counting their time as the Minnesota North Stars. They were in their 31st series, and I said they're going to get their 31st win, stay on 31 losses. Calgary's 31. Calgary beat Winnipeg in the preliminary round 3-1. I was like, uh-oh. And here's where I really messed up. Had I known this screenshot was taken after the Stars beat the Avalanche in the first game to lead 1-0. Right now they lead 2-0. They just won again last night. However, Dallas, when they make the finals, you're going to see how they're going to have to win 7 more. How many? They're going to get their 103rd all-time playoff win to advance to the Stanley Cup Finals in the 103rd season, like how they're 27. They're in their 27th season since relocating. Had I seen that, I'd have been stars all the way, and I am kicking myself up the rear end for not seeing that. And also, if you want freebies in the other one, I thought Montreal could possibly upset Philadelphia. I see now why they didn't. I thought that 2-2-5 could play with Philadelphia only winning one game, staying on 2-2-5. But I said, I don't know. That 2-2-5 really ties into the Stars and the Lightning. But anyway, notice Philadelphia won. They're playing the New York Islanders like I just talked about here, 31-31. If that lines up with a team name with their all-time potential series win or loss, like how the Flyers have 37 all-time playoff series losses right now, Islanders is 38. I had the Islanders versus the Lightning in the Eastern Conference Final when I made my bracket challenge video. The reason I deleted my older videos was because I know there's a lot of new people here. I don't want them to get misleaded information. I don't think anything good comes out of putting information that you screwed up on. Human error is a real thing. I'm not perfect. I messed up. That's why this video is being made today, to show exactly how scripted this all is. So anyway, Philadelphia, like I said, they're getting that 38th loss. Islanders is 38. Tampa, they're beating Boston. They have 79 all-time playoff wins right now. Bruins is 83. They're going to get that 83rd all-time playoff win. Out west, like I talked about, Dallas over Colorado. It makes me wonder if Dallas isn't going to sweep that series. It's very possible. Denver's 32, so either way, but they're getting that 32nd win, believe me. They're going to get their 179th win, too. So anyway, in this series anyway. So anyway, notice how in the West, when Hawerchuk was killed April 4th to the start of the Stanley Cup Finals is 239 days, which is the 52nd prime number. Vancouver Canucks is 239. I think that's the 52nd prime. I think Vegas is going to win that series to improve to 5-2 all time in playoff series. Las Vegas, Nevada is 43, but they don't call them the Las Vegas Golden Knights. They call them the Vegas Golden Knights, and besides, they're playing in Edmonton anyway. They're not playing in Las Vegas. So, and besides, if Vegas wins that series over Vancouver, they're going to get their 27th all-time playoff win, meeting the Stars in the conference finals. I really don't need to say anything else. Dallas over Vancouver, that's just, or Vegas over Vancouver. That's just easy to see. So, moving on to Sean King, the leader of Black Lives Matter. Notice he has the 17/9 birthday. The same birthday as Alex Ovechkin, the same birthday as Austin Matthews, Jimmy Johnson, Patrick Mahomes. Think about Patrick Mahomes winning the Super Bowl and the big 2-2-2 ritual that went on there. The San Francisco 49ers had the highest payroll in the NFL at $22.2 million. They got their 222nd all-time loss in the modern era since the merger in 1970. Andy Reid, the coach of the Chiefs, got his 222nd all-time win. And when the Chiefs won Super Bowl 54, February 2nd, 2020, it was exactly 222 weeks since the Kansas City Royals won the 111th World Series, November 1st, 2015. So notice how Sean King's going to get that 40, going to turn 41 years old. Be sure to go back and look at my old blog post where I made a blog and I made a video about Austin Matthews coming down with coronavirus and the most perfect day of his age. I also made a video about Connor McDavid that day, but Google deleted that video for no reason, as well as the one when I made fun of, or I ripped that guy from the Oil City Derrick a new ass, gave him a gematria lesson. But anyway, that's shit for brain retard. But anyway, Google deleted those two videos, so go back and look at my old blog. This is my blog, luxy91.blogspot.com. That's luxy91.blogspot.com. You can look over my old posts, see where I made the mistakes with Calgary that I corrected here, as well as some of my old posts. Great information there. But Sean King turning 41. Dallas 41. Tampa can win it 4-1. So anyway, the NHL is using a hashtag. They're promoting We Skate for Equality. Notice We Skate for Equality is 80, like Jeffrey Sean King, like Tampa Bay Lightning. So now we're going to move into the baseball games from August 4th and August 5th. We'll start with August 4th. These were some of the easiest calls in baseball history. We talked about how it was a guarantee that the Boston or that the Red Sox were going to win the second game of this series after we saw the Rays won the first game 5-1, right? Calgary Flames is 51. That was what was tripping me up, not realizing how it was really about the Dallas Mavericks. And I see why. We're going to get to why the Dallas Mavericks game on the same date as this game, August 4th, ties perfectly into the Stanley Cup Final. So anyway, from the date of this game, August 4th, this game ended 5-1, 57 days before September 30th. Notice Charlie Morton was the pitcher. Used to be with the Pirates. I'm here in Pittsburgh. I remember Pittsburgh likes to trade away all their best players so they stay in the cellar every year. For anybody out there in Pittsburgh, if you're a Pirates fan, you really got to be one of the dumbest people in the world. I mean, to be a sports fan, period, and not see how these games are rigged in 2020, you got to be a fucking retard. But especially to be a Pirates fan, they get rid of all their best players every year. They don't even try to win. It's a joke. But anyway, notice Charlie Morton came into the game with 91 wins. He got his 92nd win. Like how the Lightning finished with 92 points this season, like how September 30th is the day leaving 92 days left in the year. This is a typo. It's supposed to say also. But anyway, he got that 88. He stayed on 88 losses, right? Like how Oklahoma City Thunder sums to 88. Think about it. We talked about that early. Look at his full name. Charles Alfred Morton IV, 103. 103rd season of the NHL. Sacramento Kings 92. They were the opponent of the Dallas Mavericks on August 4th. We'll get to that. So it made me laugh from September 22nd to Morton's upcoming 37th birthday. 37 was a span of 51 days. Like how Stanley Cup's 37, Sacramento's 37. We're talking about Super Bowl 37. Think about George Floyd being killed on Memorial Day, right? George Floyd killed on Memorial Day 53, Boston Red Sox 53, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers won Super Bowl 37, becoming 15-4. They were 12-4 in the regular season. They won the divisional playoff, the conference championship, then the Super Bowl to become 15-4. Boston Red Sox, when you run the alphabetic order in reverse, is 154. Major League Baseball is named after the Freemason created by the Freemason Abner Doubleday. Doubleday's 54, but Major League Baseball used to have a 154-game season. That's why you got to know the alphabetic order forwards and backwards. Can't stress it enough. So Nick Invaldi, the pitcher for the Red Sox in this August 4th game, you notice he came in with 47 wins. Where have we seen that number, right? I don't know what this stat is, but notice he finished with 9.1. Probably not a coincidence. His name, of course, sums to 225. He got his 55th loss, right? Like how Tampa's hosting Super Bowl 55, 131 days after September 30th. Ryan Yarbrough, the pitcher of the Rays, on the following day got his 55th loss. We're going to get into that. So looking at this game from August 5th, as predicted, the Boston Red Sox improved to 4-8, 48 days before the start of the Stanley Cup Finals, while Ryan Yarbrough, number 48, was on the hill for Tampa. Tampa improved to 5-7, or fell to 5-7, I should say, 57 days before September 30th. So anyway, the game ended 5-0. We're going to get to why. Notice how the hits were 10-4, like how if the Stars lose the Stanley Cup 4-1 on September 30th, they'll have 104 all-time playoff wins. So this is what we said beforehand. Notice how Tampa can fall to 5-7, 57 days before September 30th. The Red Sox can improve to 4-8, 48 days before the start of the Stanley Cup Finals, before like how the Rays are pitching number 48. Notice how from February 29th, the first date written 229, like how the Stanley Cup Finals begin on September 22nd, the other date written 229. From February 29th to the date of this game, August 5th, 158 days. Tampa Bay opened at minus 158, not a coincidence. Obviously, that changed as the money got placed one way or the other. Freemasonry are 158. Notice how the over-under was set at 8.5 on 8/5. Not a coincidence. This was one of the easiest calls we ever had in professional sports. I was like, Red Sox over Rays. They're a pretty nice payout. Lock it up. Lock it up. So Ryan Yarbaugh came into the game, of course, with 27 wins. What else is new? And what I didn't know before the game, look at this. 27 wins, like how he could stay on 20. He stayed on 27 wins. Notice how he got his 14th loss, like how Stars is 14. This was before the game. So he got it 27 wins and 14 losses, 103rd season of the NHL, 27th prime. Dallas Stars 27th season since relocating from Minnesota. Stars 14. God, just couldn't be any more perfect, right? Couldn't be any more perfect. So here's what we said for Martin Perez, 100% lock. He was getting that 55th win to stay on 57 losses. Tampa Bay hosting Super Bowl 55 on 2/7. There it is, August 5th to September 30th, 57 days. August 5th to September 22nd, 48 days. I was like, Red Sox over Rays, lock it up. So here's his updated stats at the time after that game. Venezuelan pitcher, 55 wins, 57 losses. From his birthday to September 30th is 179 days, like how Tampa Bay Lightning's 175. We talked about the ritual with Tropical Storm Cristobal. So from his and that's the other thing I didn't even catch. I didn't even catch this before. His birthday is the exact same as Dale Hawerchuk's. Oh my God, Dale Hawerchuk's birthday is April 4th. I did not even pay attention to that. So both, oh my God. See what I mean? I didn't even catch this. It's just undeniable, man. It's just undeniable. They have the same birthday, the 4-4 birthday, right? Dale Hawerchuk killed on 4-4, kills 44, cancer's 44, chemo's 44, military's 44, troopers 44, officers 44, plus a whole lot more. But it's just April 4th to August 5th, 123 days. Like how on January 27th, we talked about the ritual with the Mavericks and the Stars and the Lightning. They got 100 combined for 123 points. Just undeniable. How about the 4-1, right? What I say the series is going to end. Dallas 41. Oh, my God. So moving to this Mavericks game, Dallas Mavericks beat the Sacramento Kings on 8-4 with 114 points. Look at how many games they won. Notice how many losses they had. How old was this man? So, from August 4, they won with 114 points. From April 23rd, the 114th day of the year, to the date of this game was a span of 103 days. 103. Now, Jerome McGinley, the black NHL player, he was inducted into the NHL Hall of Fame on June 24th, a date written 24/6, like how Oakland Raiders is 246, the opponent of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in Super Bowl 37, where they lost with 21 points, like how the Lightning can improve to 2-1 in Stanley Cup Finals. Jesuits also 21. The Raiders that year finished the regular season 11-5. They won the divisional round, then the conference championship, lost in the Super Bowl to finish at 13-6. Stanley Cup is 136. On January 27th, we already talked about that many times. The Stars picked up their 60th points of the season. Notice how the most hateful word for black people is 60. So is Harriet Tubman. So is Jerome McGinley. So is Edmonton, Alberta. So is Oakland Raiders. Edmonton, Alberta is where Jerome McGinley was born. It's also the hub city for the Western Conference. Harriet Tubman's on the $20 bill. We know about George Floyd and the $20 bill. So on January 14th, the Tampa Bay Lightning got their 60th points of the season. That's a date written 1/14, like how Jerome McGinley's 114. Notice how the Los Angeles Kings lost in a shootout to get their 41st points of the season against the Tampa Bay Lightning, 179, the 41st prime. Jerome McGinley's full name is 225. That's the main reason I went with Calgary, was because I saw Jerome McGinley scored 525 all-time goals as a Calgary Flame in the regular season, and I thought with George Floyd being killed on that date that they were going to be there. That was a mistake on my part. I see how they tied it into how they tied it into the Dallas Stars. Just whiffed on that one. So from January 14th to Iginla's induction into the Hall of Fame is 162 days. Like how baseball's 162, Major League Baseball's 162. Notice on August 4th, notice how the Texas Rangers lost 5-1, right? 5-1, 51. Became 1-3 at home, right? Dallas 13. Look at them on 8/5. What did they do? They lost to become 3-7 and 1-4. Stanley Cup 37, Super Bowl 37, Sacramento 37, Stars 14, 1-4 in the finals. Hits were 7-7. If you put the in front of Stanley Cup Finals, the Stanley Cup Finals 77. Undeniable. Undeniable. So just to look at this even further, to look at hang on, I just want to show people this for anybody that doubts what I'm saying. I want to look at Montreal, Pittsburgh. This last game ended on 8/7, right? 8/7, which is what I said before the series began. I said expect Pittsburgh to be eliminated in four games on 8/7, like how National Hockey League is 87. Sidney Crosby, the face of the NHL, wears the number 87. He was born on 8/7 in the year 87. I said Montreal would win this series 3-1. Pittsburgh won their only game of the series 3-1. And the reason I said that is because Montreal sums to 30. They can become 3-0 versus Pittsburgh all-time in the playoffs, and they can give Pittsburgh their 30th all-time playoff series loss, which is exactly what happened. Exactly what happened. So, I want to show you something about this game. Notice it ended 2-0, right? And the reason I'm showing you this is because I'm in Pittsburgh. I know a lot of Pittsburgh people are probably going to watch this. I want to show you how scripted this was. I talked about before the game, because this was set 8/7. This was 74 days after the death of George Floyd. And Stanley Cup playoffs in the most pure cipher sums to 74. So does Go Habs Go. Montreal, they call them, their nickname is the Habs. And I said that is why it's undeniable you're going to see Pittsburgh get closed out 3-1 on 8/7. But there's more. There's more. 74. The guy who scored the winning goal, Shea Weber, got the empty net goal. But I want you to see this Finnish player right here, Artturi Leikkanen. So I talked about 74, right? Look at his birthday. He scored the game-winning goal to punch Montreal's ticket to the Stanley Cup playoffs 74 days after the death of George Floyd, when Go Habs Go is 74. Look at his birthday. 7/4. How perfect. Just more undeniable evidence, right? But don't worry, there's more. There's always more. Look at his name in the most pure cipher. 74. 74. Scores the game-winning goal to punch their ticket to the Stanley Cup playoffs. Again, like for all of you that sleep on this knowledge, you're not an intelligent person. You are not an intelligent person. I didn't even realize it's 88, too. Look at that. Overlap in both reduction ciphers. Undeniable. So for those of you that don't know how these ciphers work, this is English ordinal, the one we're talking about. The alphabetic order, A is 1, B is 2, C is 3, D is 4, up to Z is 26. The reverse alphabetic order, where Z is 1, Y is 2, X is 3, up to A is 26. The alphabetic order with the rules of numerology, where you break every letter down to a single digit. A is 1, B is 2, C is 3, up to J. The 10th letter becomes 1, because 1 plus 0 is 1. Z, the 26th letter, 2 plus 6 is 8. And the same thing in reverse. Q becomes the 10th letter. A becomes the 26th letter. Undeniable. Stanley Cup playoffs. Artturi Leikkanen, 74. Just so you don't deny it, we'll use Derek's calculator because it's a little quicker than the time and date calculator used. 5/25/2020 to 8/7/2020, a span of 74 days. And Mr. 74 with the 7/4 birthday ends Pittsburgh's season on 8/7. Undeniable. You hate this work, you think it's bullshit, you think it's the dumbest thing you ever heard of. Just know that you're a fucking retard, because this is how the cabal operates every single day. Every news story, every sports game, every election, everything, weather warfare, it's all scripted by the code. All scripted by the code. Guys, take it easy.